Now, the Seattle Storm. I've never been to a WNBA game, I confess, but the one last night was apparently a memorable one. It was the Indiana Fever in town for the Seattle Storm game, and there were teenage fans there that were wearing XXXY athletics shirts, some of them holding signs in support of Sophie Cunningham, who plays for the Fever. So she was in town. And if you don't follow social media, I'll just tell you, Sophie Cunningham has been very outspoken in recent weeks about supporting the protection of girls in sports, including basketball, that there shouldn't be biological males, there should not be athletes playing in girls' sports. She's gotten a lot of criticism. She's also, gotten a lot of attention on the national media stage. So when she was going to be in town last night, given the fact we have this initiative appearing on our ballot, there were a lot of folks here who were like, hey, there's an opportunity to show up there at the game in support of Sophie Cunningham and let her know we really appreciate her stance on this on the national stage. So there was a young woman there, a 16-year-old girl by the name of Annalie Wilson. Now, Annalie is going to be a junior this next year at Eastmont High School in Wenatchee. She, when she was in 8th grade, became the first face in Washington state for the protection of girls' sports. She lost out, earning the top placement in a statewide competition, a track competition, to a trans athlete. And her family was brave enough at that point, even though she was very young at the time, to say, we want to speak out against this. And she was the encouragement for others in our state and then nationally who have spoken out about this subject since then. So Annalie was at the game last night at the Seattle Storm and holding up a sign in support of Sophie Cunningham and saying, thank you for speaking up to protect girls' sports. Well, that did not go over well with the co owner of the Seattle Storm, a woman by the name of Celeste Keaton, who I don't have it on video, but according to multiple people that I've spoken to today and social media sources have posted, that the co-owner of the Storm, Celeste Keaton, cursed out Annalie and some other girls who were there sitting in the front row saying, thank you, Sophie, for supporting girls' sports, calling them at one point effing insane. So Annalie left in tears. Brandi Cruz with the Undivided podcast was kind enough to share this video with us today so that we could show you her conversation with Annalie and another girl who was there in support of the protection of girls' sports at that game last night. So here's part of that conversation after the game.
We were just sitting there with our signs that said, like, we love Sophie, like, thank you, Sophie, for speaking up. And so we were holding them, just watching the game. Again, like, we were being super great. We hadn't said anything to anyone else. We were being super respectful. We were just holding our signs and cheering for both teams. And this lady, older lady, comes up to us. And she comes up to us, and at first I think she's going to be nice. And then she asked, like, what are you guys doing? Something like that. And then it was like, Jesus loves everyone. That's what she told us. And I was like, oh, I know. Like, I'm religious. Like, I know. Like, I know. Nice. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I hope Jesus can forgive you for what sin you've done. And, like, something like that. And then she told us that we were effing insane. And that we
and she's like, and she went like this.
Insane. Yeah.
She's like, you better stop this.
And stop. Yeah.
And
for you guys
I
to
hope
come
God
here
can
and
save
hold
you.
us.
I did reach out to the Seattle Storm for a comment on how things went last night. I got no response to my phone message or email. If I receive that, we'll share that with you in tomorrow's episode. But Let's Go Washington did provide a response to what transpired at the game last night. And this is a comment from Hallie Balch with Let's Go Washington. She said, adults attacking high school sports for supporting Sophie Cunningham is pathetic. These girls had the courage to show up. The grown adults that curse them out and verbally harass them should feel pretty proud for making high schoolers cry Very brave. The no hate crowd keeps showing us who the real bigots are. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more on this in the days to come. Hopefully, any response from the Seattle storm, I can provide you an update in tomorrow's episode.